Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into Fresh Takes with Russo and Felice. I am Paul Russo. Joining me, as always, Nick Felice. We got football to discuss. Wildcard weekend in the past.
Not many games left.
No, there's only 8 teams, in fact. So
And only 2 in the other league.
A lot to recap there. We got CFP Championship to look at. The Baseball Hall of Fame. Their ballot comes out next week before we are live, so we do our annual tradition of me and Nick debating about
Rick Porcello.
whether or not Miguel Caro should be into the Hall of Fame. So, and Pretty Ricky. But, yeah, we got also other stuff in the NFL to discuss, Nick. So, a lot to get to today. But first, we have to thank a couple of our sponsors, including the Auburn Auto Group. When it comes to selection and service after the sale, Auburn Auto Group has been the premier destination for new and used car buyers for close to 40 years. Among the brands offered on Route 5 in Auburn includes Chevrolet, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Honda, Toyota, and Subaru. Thanks to their wide range of makes and models, you're sure to find your new or used car at Auburn Auto Group. And Cafe 19, breakfast, lunch, pastry, celebratory cakes, pies, and catering, guaranteed fresh and always local at Cafe 19 in Seneca Falls. Also offering an assortment of beverages, including tea, coffee, and espresso drinks. You can check out their full menus and weekly specials at xixcafe.com. All right, Nick. Where do we begin?
Jaguars are gone.
Well, where do you want to start? Your Giants could be making news here while we're even sitting here and talking. So I don't know if we want to start on the coaching side of it before we even get to the playoff stuff or what.
Are 1/3 of the NFL coaches gone right now?
Ooh, good question.
How many openings are there? Like 6, 7, 8?
Giants, Ravens, Steelers, Dolphins, Falcons, Titans,
Raiders.
Browns.
Jeez.
So 8. Oh, Cardinals, 9. Forgot about the Cardinals. That's on me.
Soon to be Bills.
I don't think so anymore, but we can get to that maybe more.
But yeah,
So 9 of 32 is just essentially a little under a third. So
I'm rooting for John Harbaugh in New York. I think he'd be a great fit. We've tried out the assistant coach route. Hasn't worked. Sure, probably choosing the wrong assistants. But I just want a coach that's been adapted. And the Giants, I know I'm biased, but we're really not that far off from really contending. And I think the NFC East is pretty winnable right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the quarterback. We maybe have the running back. Well, we maybe have the quarterback. There are a lot of question marks still, but you feel like you got the quarterback, you got the running back, you got a wide receiver, definitely star wide receiver, got some star offensive linemen, and you got some great pieces on the defense. Secondary could use a little bit of work, but, I feel like it'd be a great spot for Harbaugh. And pretty sure I heard Tom Coughlin has come out and talked to him about how great of a job it is. And, yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Also, it'd be interesting. What are your thoughts if Brian Dable came back to New York and is the offensive coordinator?
So this is a lot like the Virginia Tech thing with Brent Pry, right? The fact that Franklin's bringing him on as DC. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I think Dable is a good mind. Like, it just didn't work out well.
I don't think Shane there wanted to fire Dable. That was Mara.
Yeah.
And the ownership, and they wanted him out. And we know how much Dable loves Dart. I wouldn't say it would be crazy if he came back and he was the offensive coordinator.
Right.
Wouldn't call that crazy. But gotta get a head coach first, and we'll move on from there.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, kind of. I don't. Well, for me, it wasn't surprising that Tomlin is moving on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe that's better segue-ish to the playoff stuff. Because the interesting part too was the stuff coming from Baltimore too about how if Luke made the kick, it might have only guaranteed Harbaugh another week, and that's it. Look, I'm not going to say here if the people who listen regularly to us know my stance on both of them, Harbaugh and Tomlin. So that's here nor there to me anyway. The interesting part is maybe the fact that the Bengals in the AFC North have the longest tenured coach now, and Zach Taylor, which is
They have the only coach.
that is crazy to me. Yeah, the only coach, to be fair.
The other three are vacancies.
That is accurately correct. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the Tomlin thing probably is a really good transition over to the actual playoffs themselves. So the wild card round. You were pretty spot on with that Panthers take last week. To circle back, not that I didn't doubt. I just kind of thought, well, at the end of the day, it's the Rams here, right? And I don't think they'd allow for what happened back in October to happen, and it almost did happen that way. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel a lot less comfortable now with the Rams going forward here. I don't know if it's a great matchup in Chicago at night that they draw for the divisional round, but I don't know. Survive and advance is kind of the name of the game this time of year, so I guess it's hard to really knock a win when that's what you have to do, or else it's over with.
Yep. Also, Don Kelly, the longest tenured Pittsburgh professional head coach right now, with the Penguins.
I guess so, technically speaking.
Technically speaking. I know Kelly, he got the job, was it May? But then they gave him a deal this offseason, so to be the main guy. But anyway, the Rams, it's hard to win on the road in the playoffs. I mean, even the Texans did not look great for most of that game against the Steelers, and they had to earn that win at the end. But the final score doesn't indicate it. But it's not easy to win on the road, and we saw a lot of that this weekend. The Niners won a tough game at the Eagles. The Rams squeak out a game against the Panthers, even though the Panthers just beat them just a couple months ago. So it's not shocking to me that the Panthers competed a little bit. And we saw the Bills. They went on the road, got the win, and I believe that was it. Packers should have won, but didn't. So it's not easy to go on the road and win in a playoff game. But the Rams, yeah, you're right. It's survive and advance and regroup. Now they got to play Chicago with Ben Johnson, who's starting to become my least favorite head coach in the league now. Not a fan. Think he's a douchebag. And you'll never beat Detroit, buddy. So you go be on cloud nine with Chicago this year. You'll play a first place schedule next year, so you're going to go downhill. You're not going anywhere. Not room for the Bears. I can't believe how much I've become a Bears hater here, but
Ben Johnson will do that to a guy.
I don't care for him. His handshakes at the game. It's one thing. It's one thing LaFleur, but Dan Campbell. Like, you coached with this guy for years. For years.
Okay, I didn't know which way you were going with that, admittedly, because I was going to say, well, apparently with the Packers, the way the Packers were being, I'm not totally surprised. But that part, you are right.
Yeah. I don't know the whole story with the Packers, but the Lions handshake it seemed like a sore loser because he lost both games to the Lions. And come on, you worked with this guy. A quick little handshake? Come on.
Yeah.
And he's just a douchebag. I don't like him. Nick Sirianni's still number one, but I don't like him. Sean Payton's up there, too.
Yeah.
Don't like him either. And there's not many head coaches. A lot of them are vacancies, right?
Yeah. We got 9 of them, so.
I think the Rams are going to regroup. I think they're going to come out and play better this week. I do. I think, not to make any picks here, but it's Rams Seahawks. I think that's been the whole NFC this whole year. And luckily we didn't get that in the second round because of the Niners win. I think it's been Rams Seahawks all year in the NFC. I think that's who's going to represent the conference.
Well, and that was the game following the Rams and Panthers was Packers-Bears.
The Bears.
How is LaFleur still the head coach?
I mean, I see your point, but is it really much? Is there anything better than him, like, right now that can coach this team?
Well,
they were pretty banged up.
and that's fair. But
yeah, the blown losses is on
I'm
him.
viewing it from that angle of, like, okay, third time in 5 weeks that this happened. Like,
It's not a great season. You got to look at the season disappointment if you're the Packers.
100%.
And
They were my pick for the NFC.
yeah, and they're lucky they hung on to a playoff spot to even get this opportunity. And also, 7 seeds are now 1-11 all time. And ironically, the Packers are the 1-7 seed to win a game.
How odd.
Beat the Cowboys. That's because
Coincidence?
the Cowboys. What are they doing? What, 2 seed?
Coincidence?
No, I think the Bears just wanted it more this year than the Packers. You're so used to the Packers beating up on the Bears. And that could be the case again next year. I mean, look at the Vikings. What collapse from season to season. And no offense, Washington as well.
Hollow.
But Washington, didn't have their quarterback for a lot of the season. Vikings did not have their quarterback the whole year because he's playing for Seattle now. And so you're going to see drop-offs like that. But definitely disappointing season for the Packers. Bears get the win, whatever. You're not going to go much longer. Not going to go much farther. I'm not buying any stock in the Bears.
Interesting.
I still don't think they've beaten anybody all year.
Okay.
Same with the Patriots.
Well, we will get to them in just a minute. Bills, Jaguars. You mentioned it, Nick. The Jaguars go down. And part of me thinks they have nobody to blame but themselves. Like, I don't know why they got away from the run. I think it was just these offensive-minded coaches, they overthink themselves. And for the Bills, again, that defense stepped up when they needed it to the most. And here we are. But, man, Nick, can you go play wide receiver for the Bills by chance?
They really do need some receivers, don't they? I mean, who had 12 catches? Was it Shakir?
Yeah.
He had a decent game, like double-digit catches. I think it was 12 he ended up with, something like that. But
That room, though, right now is awfully thin.
yeah, Gabe Davis was washed anyway. He didn't really have much left in him.
Couple big catches, though.
I did not watch this game. I was at work. I only saw like a little bit of the first half, but it seemed like a great game. Seemed similar to a lot of the games this weekend. Jaguars score late, but the Bills get the last score of the game just to pull ahead at the end. And Josh Allen, I think, is the best player in the playoffs right now. I think he is. They're lucky they have him because they wouldn't be where they are without him. I'm not jumping on the Bills Super Bowl train just fast. I mean, people are thinking, wow, what a win for Josh Allen on the road. First road playoff win in 33 years, and it's got to be the Bills' year. Denver's going to be a tough game. I know Denver has played like the Chiefs of last year, but that Chiefs of last year still got to the Super Bowl. And they've been escaping with wins, not been playing that great, but winning games. And Denver's a tough place to play.
It's true.
And I'm just not.
Josh Allen played in Wyoming.
It's true. And I'm just not jumping on the train yet.
It's all right.
You got to prove me something.
Well,
and also the Chargers losing officially closed the stadium. They will never go back there again.
It's true.
So they got to win on the road 2 more times just to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And there are some good defenses out there.
Then they get one this week.
Denver, Houston, even the Patriots, some really good defenses out there. I don't know what Josh Allen is going to do against these teams.
Well, we'll see, I guess. The first hate watch game of the weekend for me, tremendous, no notes. The Eagles falling to the 49ers.
The frauds.
It was great.
They were frauds.
We were both wrong on that pick, admittedly. That'll happen.
Yeah, well.
49ers do lose Kittle. They get even more banged up. I don't know how they are surviving at this point, but they are. And I refuse to give credit to Kyle Shanahan like many people want to do. I refuse to do it. I will not be the one doing it. But, Yeah, I mean, if you're the Eagles, man, you got to be the wackest 11-win team in NFL history. Like, they're just bad. And yeah, we see that Patullo, the OC. See, and this is the other thing too. Like, talk about how is a coach still coaching right now? How is Nick Sirianni still the head coach of the Eagles? The right move is to fire Patullo, but no, he's just relieving him of his duties. He's going to stay on as like an advisor. Like, what are we doing?
About that.
What
So
are
he's
we
staying on
doing?
the
Yeah, like, what are we doing?
So he must be buddies with him.
Yeah, clearly.
And it's kind of a scapegoat because this is on Sirianni as well.
Right. No, but that's more what I'm getting at. Is like, if you're the head coach of a team, like, he's gonna be on his 6th coordinator in 6 years, I think, on offense. And I get some of them got poached, right, to be head coaches elsewhere, but how are you whiffing now on the past 3 though? Like, bad.
And also AJ Brown, I'm over him. I'm done with him. I've been done with him. I never thought he was that good of a receiver. I mean, he puts up numbers, but man, he just does nothing for your team. And Jalen Hurts, I think you could throw in there as one of the worst quarterbacks to ever win a Super Bowl. I mean, he's looked terrible this year, Hurts. The tush push has not been really existent this year. I don't know. You're right. This was a terrible 11-win team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they got here, and I'm not surprised that the season's over. And I'm not even arguing my pick, or I guess you could argue your pick. I still think that Niners defense is garbage.
Oh, I'm with you. Yeah,
I think Seattle could really beat them up this week, especially they just played them.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know how the Eagles couldn't beat. I mean, that Niner team is really not that good.
Yeah.
And they still couldn't beat them. That just shows you how bad the Eagles are.
Yeah.
And sure, that Patullo guy should have got fired or whatever, relieved. But this is a team effort here. I think you got to blame it on Sirianni. You got to blame it on Patullo. You got to blame it on Hurts. You got to blame it on A.J. Brown. This is just a failure of a this is one of the worst
frauds.
I can't say it's the worst defense title ever in the NFL because they made the playoffs. I'm sure there's been plenty of Super Bowl defending champions.
You can say you're Giants. It's okay.
Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs. But this is awful.
Yeah.
This has got to be the worst defending champ to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just terrible.
Yeah.
And it's just because the NFC East was not very good this year. Someone had to get in. And you can't even say they beat up on the division. They lost to Washington and the Giants this year.
Right. Right.
It's just bad. Bad. I actually would take the 2023 Eagles over this team. And they were terrible.
Yeah.
It's amazing that they won a Super Bowl in between these 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about how Doug Peterson was fired for less.
I know.
So, either way. Yeah, the Chargers-Patriots, my only really takeaway truly from this game is, look, I know there's a lot of talk around Justin Herbert right now, but, that dude was running for his damn life all year, and it just...
They lost 2 offensive linemen, right?
Yeah, more than pretty much all of them, yeah.
That's going to hurt,
Yeah.
So they didn't really have a chance.
No.
I still don't think the Patriots have beaten anybody. And we saw signs what a good defense could do to that Patriots offense. Mm-hmm. Drake May didn't look so hot in that great game.
No.
And
it was the running game again for them. Really.
Yeah. I'm intrigued. They have some tough defenses ahead of them, especially Houston. That is going to be a very tough test for Drake May.
Yeah, that's a pretty good transition to that final game on Monday night, Houston and Pittsburgh, because Houston's offense was their defense for the most part. And, boy, oh boy, the hate watch was great again on Monday night for me. Seeing Rodgers go down the way he did, Steelers as a whole.
Is this finally the end?
No notes. I think so. I think whether he comes back next year or not, it is the end. You know what I mean? I don't think it gets any better for him. Hey, that being said, I don't know. I think Tomlin leaving officially probably puts Rodgers out in Pittsburgh for sure. That is if they're smart, and as the Steelers have shown, over the course of the past decade plus, they really enjoy just mediocrity at best. So who knows? But yeah, I mean, if they were smart, they would just reset, right?
If they were smart, they would get rid of their coleslaw and their French fries.
Brutal for a Pittsburgh guy like you to be saying that, but I don't mind it. I enjoy coleslaw on a sandwich.
It's disgusting. But
The fries or the coleslaw?
the coleslaw. Fries. But yeah, not much to say about this game. Houston defense is legit. And I don't think C.J. Stroud could play as worse as he did in most of that game. So he looked awful.
Mm-hmm.
And they still dominated.
That is true. All
Rodgers
right.
looked like he was 6 years old.
Yeah.
He's got to be done. Who would want him next year?
Yeah.
They're talking about the Vikings getting him finally.
The Jets?
Oh, the poor Jets.
Why would the Vikings want him?
I know.
Like, that means they're officially out on McCarthy, right?
There was rumors of it last year, but they wanted to give
True.
McCarthy a chance.
Yeah.
Well, Rodgers wanted to go to the Vikings because of the team they had there.
Right.
And no.
After all, why be like your heroes?
Oh, yeah, it'd be exactly Favre.
You want to get to our picks? Well, it was a rough week for you, Nick, because as you know, you started with one game in hand because you beat me by a game in the regular season, but you went 2-4 in your picks, and I went 5-1.
Yep.
So I'm in a 2-game lead here,
Yeah, you might win both.
which is kind of
You are-
crazy.
Well, no spoilers, but
Yeah, no spoilers, Nick. Come on, figure it
you
out.
might win both.
So our first game, Saturday at 4:30, Buffalo at Denver. The Broncos have flipped to now being a 1.5 favorite.
I'm going to take Denver.
I'm going to go Buffalo.
Interesting.
My reason is pretty simple. Oh, we got the update thing again. My reason is pretty simple for Buffalo over Denver here, Nick. You said it earlier. The best player in the playoffs, Josh Allen.
Yes.
So I think in this game especially, I'm going to stick with that mantra.
Early game on the West Coast,
Yeah.
can't remember. This is a 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock start.
Yeah, 2 o'clock. But I just think he's just such an X factor at the moment. And this matchup, I'm going to stick with my guns here and go Buffalo.
All right.
I like the chance. Now, we'll get to the other pick in a minute, obviously, in the AFC side. But I don't know with my pick how well he'll do. So, Saturday at 8, San Fran at Seattle. This is your biggest line of the week, 7.5. Seattle's favorites. I'm on Seattle. Now look, my same logic is the same I had for Philly here, essentially though. It's more health than anything else, right? Kittle is by far still better than Tongas. He's not a bad tight end, but like you're down another actual weapon for Purdy. He himself is banged up. We said it last week. The defense is a skeleton defense. In my mind, I just don't see how away Seattle doesn't win this
Especially
game.
off to the rest.
Yeah.
I still think Chris McCaffrey is the man, but Seattle.
Yeah. It's tough when he's involved. I mean, McCaffrey had how many touches was it in Philly too? If you include his receptions,
A lot.
it was like 40, I think. Like just something stupid high. So,
And what hurt Philly this year is not using Saquon like they used him last year.
well, I think they did, but that's the issue was the usage. I think it's like the opposite, but either way.
He just didn't have a great year, Saquon.
Yeah. Sunday at 3, Houston at New England. The Patriots are 3-point favorites.
Huh. I'm going to take Houston.
Oh.
One, I don't want the Patriots to win, and that defense is legit. And I saw a little bit of glimpse with that with Drake May against the Chargers. I don't think the Patriots are there yet.
I thought I might get you on this pick, but I'm taking Houston as well.
Good.
The defense is such an X factor for Houston. I think they are the best defense left in the playoffs, personally speaking. I think it's like them, and then I think it's Seattle. But like, and then probably Denver technically. But Houston's defense, especially that front line, they literally eat you.
Mm-hmm.
Look what they did to Rodgers in Pittsburgh. And do I think it's going to be a repeat performance? No. I think Drake May is better than Aaron Rodgers was this year. But the Patriots do have some questions with that offensive line, health-wise. They all held up pretty good, right, in that game against the Chargers, but I mean, I don't know if I'd want to face Will Anderson coming off the edge.
No, and I don't think we're getting a Y this week either.
I don't think so. Would you like to retroactively go back to Buffalo as for the Y maybe potentially at the end of this?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now.
No. You want? Let's wait until this last pick, just in case.
Pretty confident we're gonna be the same.
Just in case. Sunday night, 6:30. Rams at the Bears. The Bears are 3.5-point underdogs at home.
Also, I don't know when they changed the 3 and 6:30 for the divisional round. I
don't know.
I like it.
Yeah.
I wish they would have a triple header on Saturday during the wild card round. I don't know why there's a game on Monday.
Because they want the Monday night game. Money.
Yeah.
Because I said that last week.
Anyway, let's say it together. 3, 2, 1, Rams.
Okay. Yeah, I think this run for Chicago kind of comes to an end. Could be wrong, obviously. The Rams have shown clear signs in the armor, but I don't know if the Bears can keep up with the cardio thing, the cardiac stuff here. You know what I mean? It's hard to keep digging yourself out of a hole consistently. So,
why, Paul?
For the Rams? No. You're clearly going to go back to the Bills thing.
Yes, the first ever retroactive.
Couple other things here. I can't remember the exact number, but I know it's like in the 10 range that the Broncos either played rookie and/or second-string quarterbacks this year. Also, 8 games within a possession or less. It's a little bit kind of like the Bears' logic in a way, right? Where I don't know. Eventually, that's got to catch up to you, and I think it does on Saturday with the Bills. So. That and the interesting part here too is I know what you're meant when we talked about it earlier a little bit. I do know what you mean by Denver home field and whatever else. If it was another team, say Jacksonville, for example, right? I'd buy more into that than say Buffalo just because of Buffalo themselves are in a rough climate. Playing outside, it's one of those things where the elevation, sure, but in terms of the actual weather and stuff like that, I don't buy into it for a team like Buffalo, just because they themselves are coming from weather effects.
I know it's a little premature, but you think the Bills going to Super Bowl?
Don't know if they get by Houston just because of that defense.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
and Houston always seems to play the Bills well.
Yeah, Houston, especially in the Josh Allen era, Houston just has their number. And that game would be in Houston where Josh Allen is winless.
Houston in the Super Bowl.
So, Houston Rams?
Interesting.
Houston Seahawks? Bills Seahawks?
I know my brother Matt would not like Bills Seahawks.
I think he would. I would hope he would. If he doesn't want the Seahawks there, I know our two teams would love to be there instead then. Yeah. So, I know why he's saying it in that sense. I don't know, somebody who has yet to see their favorite team in the Super Bowl.
Maybe switch teams.
I'm proud to announce my fandom to the Detroit Lions.
Put 3 hats out in front of you. Just give the Cardinals a shot, Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, God. Yeah, I did like them back when Palmer was there. Those were fun teams, but no. Let's get to that college football playoff championship game, Nick. Indiana,
Really?
Miami.
Bringing this up after Miami basketball just beat Notre Dame yesterday with Marcus Freeman in the house.
Sounds like a bigger you problem than me problem, admittedly. Yeah, just like we all expected at the beginning of the year, right? Indiana and Miami.
Yes. I think we were spot on with the predictions.
Yep. This is a really intriguing matchup. And this will probably lead really well into like when we actually make our picks and stuff like that. I don't want to do the whole entire conference thing just because, like, I think it's slightly drawn out already as is to a degree and stuff like that. But yeah, maybe the ACC was a hair more competitive than we gave it credit for. Maybe the Big Ten is just kind of what we thought it was.
I think these are the two best conferences.
Ooh.
Just take a shot at the SEC.
I don't disagree. Yeah, maybe we can do a little bit of that right now. I don't have a problem with it. I even said it probably about a month and a half or so ago. Yeah, the SEC is just very top heavy again as usual. You get outside of those first couple of teams that, and that's kind of what I don't mean to disrespect any team like this, but like whenever somebody brings up anything about the SEC, right, and they use the ACC as like the backboard of like, well, yeah, but you have to play like Pitt, right? I'm like, cool. In the SEC, you have to play Mississippi State.
I will say, I think the ACC was the deepest conference.
It might have been.
Even those bottom teams, Clemson's at the bottom.
Yeah, and
they're not that bad. Like they're not horrible.
I think the tough part on the ACC was just the visual stuff this year, where it was like Syracuse loses 70-7, right? Boston College goes 1-11, stuff like that.
I didn't go that far now.
Well, no, but you know what I mean, right? Where it's just like I think it was like the striking stuff, right in your face. Yeah. Whereas
I think those teams could beat Purdue. They could beat Kentucky.
Yeah.
I think they could beat those teams.
Right. No, I agree with you there, 100%. And then, yeah, I think the Big Ten is... Look, I don't know if necessarily the ACC was the best, right? But, like, I think you are right in that the ACC and Big Ten... And I think it proves, and you can say what you want, but I think it also proves in the bowl games, right? Like, both of them have smoked the SEC in the bowl games.
Texas won the one bowl. Texas beat Michigan without their coach.
But, like... Okay, but, like, that's one game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, other than that, it's been the ACC has handled business. The Big Ten has handled business.
Yeah. In this 2 years of this playoff format, the SEC has really struggled in it.
Yeah.
Georgia's lost 2 years in a row at a bye.
And I think, too, right, not to beat the dead horse with it, right, but, like, it's amazing what NIL has actually leveled the playing field here a little bit, right? Again, not to insinuate, but like you get players to be more accessible to other programs. See what happens, You see. Did you see the Ty Simpson stuff by chance with the portal and how he's officially staying in the NFL draft?
Oh.
Apparently Miami offered him $6.5 million in NIL to go to Miami next year. And he opted to stay in the draft, which more power to you. But like I'm not as high on Ty Simpson as I was 3 months ago. I can tell you that much. So
other than Mendoza, I'm not high in this class. QB class.
I'm not even high on Mendoza NFL wise.
Really?
That's a separate discussion for down the line. Especially with the news about Moore staying officially now and everything like that. So, yeah, that's probably more of a discussion for
Dante Moore staying.
Yeah, a couple months from now. But
didn't they just get a quarterback?
Yeah, Raiola. But it's understood Raiola's just going to be the backup next year for Moore before taking the reins. So.
And who do you play for? Raiola.
Nebraska.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I'm just trying to remember, Paul. Maybe you can answer this for me. When's the last time? Who was the team that last beat Indiana in a football game?
Notre Dame.
Thank you. And when was the last time Miami cared about a football game? Notre Dame. And here we are.
Transient cycle.
I don't.
Look. I don't know, man. I think this game. It's interesting. The line's at 8.5. I really love Miami with the points.
You're always a points guy.
Well, Miami's defense is that front seven is legit, man. I don't think Indiana's really seen anything quite like that just yet. That being said, I think I prefer Indiana's offense to Miami's offense, though. Miami may have the best player overall on offense in Malachi Toney, but I just think overall I prefer Indiana's attack than Miami's attack.
Indiana's got a better quarterback, huh?
Yeah.
I don't trust that Carson Beck.
I think it's hard to at this point, right?
He's going to mess up in the biggest moment.
Wow.
I mean, I am definitely not rooting for Miami just so they don't get the satisfaction. Oh, Notre Dame, we also beat Indiana. And the ACC. Not on good speaking terms for the ACC right now. Myself.
Yeah.
But Indiana's going to be tough, man. They're going to be tough. I've actually was not sold on Indiana until these playoffs. But just these last two games, they just absolutely dominated. And don't get me wrong. I'm not just a straight hater here. Miami's defense is pretty good. And they've lived up to the moment. Almost too good where it's the exact same run that Notre Dame went on last year.
Uh-oh.
They had the same run as Notre Dame's last year. Little differences, obviously, but I think it's pretty similar. They beat Texas A&M, who was like Indiana last year. It was like people were thinking they're better than the first-round team. Then they beat Ohio State and Georgia, who were considered, similar like powerhouses. And then they beat Ole Miss in a semifinal. Like we beat Penn State in a crazy game. But they ran into the toughest team in the league in Ohio State, and they're running into the toughest team in Indiana. I think it's very similar. And I'm almost certain Notre Dame was like a 7 or 8 point underdog going into that game as well. I hope you're following along still. Keep track of what I just said. But
well, I was just like, I didn't know where you're fully going with that.
I'm saying Notre Dame's run is very similar to Miami's this year, and ended with Notre Dame losing the national title.
It's fair. It's fair. All right. Let's get the graphic up then. Unfortunately for you, Nick, you will not be able to catch me, and I've secured.
There's gotta be
another
game we can pick. It's gotta be.
You want to pick the Shrine Bowl or something like that?
Yeah, the Senior Bowl. Has that happened yet?
No, not yet. You want to pick the Senior Bowl? But tough scenes for you, Nick. Tough scenes for you.
It was a good run. Congrats, Paul.
Thank you.
Wear the crown.
The crown is mine.
Yeah, it was a good run. I'm regretting picking. I feel like I picked Michigan one time.
The interesting part is if you picked one game the same as me last week, you would still be technically in it.
I know.
And your main thing last week was you couldn't do it because this was the last chance to gain ground.
I know. I felt like I picked USC one time. Something. I remember some bad picks.
Tough scenes. You picked Cal Poly instead of Illinois.
Oh, it was that MAC action week, man.
Action. Where you wanted MAC games and you backfired on it.
It was tough, but yeah, I'll finish up strong here.
Monday, 7:30, the CFP Championship.
7:30, I like it.
Too bad I probably won't actually kick off till like 8 because of ESPN. But number 10 Miami against number 1 Indiana. The Hoosiers 8.5 point favorites.
I'm gonna take Indiana in this game.
Wow.
I think they're the best team. As much as it pains me to watch this game, I guess I'll pick Indiana. They're still not better than us. I don't care. Catch up. That would be only your first national title. You'd be still 10 behind, so catch up.
That's true. Factually correct.
And we'll come back for both these teams next year.
Okay.
Taking Indiana just because I think this is their year.
And I'm going with Miami.
ACC bias.
Oh, look at that. I think this is going to be a defensive game, and I think I'm going to take the team with the better defensive unit.
So you're taking them straight up.
Yep. I'm doing it.
Wow.
Which probably means Indiana's going to win.
But, you know, that'd be cool for the ACC.
Yeah.
When's the last time they won a national title? Florida State?
Clemson.
Oh, Clemson. How can I forget about Clemson? But
A full-time member of the ACC.
when was the last time it wasn't Clemson or Florida State?
Well, Syracuse is
No, it cannot be
as
serious.
an independent.
That's a good question. Georgia Tech ever won a national title?
Yeah, way back, 50s. Even then, they were a member of the SEC. I think when they won their national title. Miami hasn't won.
It's got to be Miami.
No, Miami hasn't won one as a member of the ACC. They won theirs as a Big East school.
You can't tell me it's just Florida State and Clemson.
When was Virginia Tech?
Hey, I'll look it up. You talk
When was
about.
Virginia Tech? I think Virginia Tech might have been a Big East school too at the time they won.
Let me chat GBT.
Probably just Google it. It would need AI to answer that one. Theater of the mind here.
Lists of ACC football
National
champions. She's giving me a minute. She says, wait a minute.
She.
Clemson, Florida State, Miami.
But Miami was a Big East member, I'm pretty sure.
ACC member since 2004, so not Miami.
Right.
Georgia Tech. Yeah, these are just teams that are in the conference now.
Right. Because then they're going to include Pitt and Syracuse then in there.
Yep, Pitt.
So, yeah.
Damn. It's a big deal
Could happen.
for the conference.
Yeah. Makes you want to join, doesn't it?
We are joined in majority of sports.
Not in football.
We've been to a more recent ACC championship game than Miami has.
Sounds like a you problem.
Sounds like a Miami problem.
Yeah, that's also true.
That's pretty sad.
True.
But, yeah, just get to my shout-outs.
No, we have one more thing to
that's
touch
right.
on before we leave. Our annual January tradition of the MLB
That's right.
and Baseball Hall of Fame ballot. So we'll throw up the nominees this year up on the screen, Nick, as we talk through some of these. Interesting year.
As it is every year.
To me, it's a lot of Hall of Very Good guys this year in the sense of, like, good careers, not Hall of Famers. I do think we'll probably have at least one person come out of this group. It sounds like we will.
Who's it going to be?
And that's the real question here. So as I always do, I do have my ballot with me, my fictitious ballot as a non-voting member. And it's a tough one, Nick. Tough year, Nick. We were talking off air about this before we got going. And there's a lot of cases to be made for some guys, and I know I probably contradicted myself a little bit on some of these. But I believe for sure the second year in a row, I know it's for sure the second year, I don't have 10.
You don't have 10.
In fact, I think I went down technically even from last year. I have 8.
Let's hear.
I have 8 people. So my locks as they've been the past few years here, I had 4 for sure locks for me going into this, which was Andrew Jones, who, for what it's worth, the best defensive outfielder in our lifetime, I think. And he has offensive numbers to back it up. I know you're going to disagree with this one. You have in the past, but either way, I said Andy Pettit is a lock for me. Manny Ramirez and Alex Rodriguez were my 4 for sure locks. Say what you want, obviously, about especially the Pettit, Ramirez, and Rodriguez stuff. We've been over that before. I don't think that's worth fully rehashing.
And this is Ramirez's last year.
Yes, it is. So I don't think it's worth exactly rehashing the steroid stuff amongst those 3 or anything like that. I just don't think it's worth the time of day in that sense. We disagree, I know, on that front, but we've been down this road now, 7 times on this podcast. I don't think it's worth rehashing for an eighth. So.
Let's hear your Rick Porcello and the 3 others.
So it's not Rick Porcello. I was torn on a couple of these, and I had to do some number stuff, admittedly. But my other 4 out of the 8 are Bobby Abreu, Carlos Beltran, Torrey Hunter, and Jimmy Rollins.
Bobby Abreu, Torrey Hunter,
Carlos Beltran,
and Jimmy Rollins.
Bobby
Abreu, how many years now on the ballot?
I think this is his 9th as well. So I think he's nearing the end. Or it might be 8, but it's definitely within that realm. He's only got one more shot for sure. It's interesting because I know we'll get into a couple of the guys who I don't have here specifically, but Jimmy Rollins is a really interesting case where I don't think it initially popped out to me. Looked at numbers and stuff like that. He's on par with shortstops who are in the Hall of Fame and ones who are like locks into the Hall of Fame. It took some looking on the Beltran, Abreu, and Hunter side fully, although I have been a big proponent of Torrey Hunter in the past. But if you're going to put Hunter in, you have to have Abreu in. They have similar numbers. I think they're deserving. Beltran's the one where I think, and we talked about it, when he was playing, it never jumped out to me. But you look at the numbers and stuff like that, it makes sense that he should be in there. I don't have a problem with that. So those were
What's keeping him out?
At this point, I think it's the Houston, the Astros stuff. And I feel the same way about that I do the steroid guys, where arbitrarily speaking, yes, they are in the wrong. But we have guys who are known steroid users in the Hall of Fame right now. We have known, we go through this every year, right? Known racists, rapists, you name it, in the Hall of Fame. I can't subscribe to the morality clause when we pick and choose it. So what he did was wrong. But was he doing anything outside the confines at the time before the MLB cracked down? Sure. But the MLB was reactionary, not proactive. So
let me ask you this: how do you think they're going to handle Jose Altuve when he comes in?
Well, he's an interesting case too, where I think it kind of falls into that Rollins stuff for me, where
because he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
You would think, but has it ever felt that way?
I always thought he was the best second baseman for a while.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, probably gonna have to deal with some same stuff, and this is the part where I think it's interesting, right? The more that we have people our age in the BBWAA instead of the older generations, it will be interesting to kind of see how it plays out.
And Jose,
our generation, admittedly, has been less lenient on those steroid era guys.
And Altuve's postseason numbers are unbelievable.
Correct. However, we are also the generation, though, that has held the Astros stuff more accountable than the older generation. So I don't know how that's fully going to go. Like, you were one of the people even who was just like, even the pitchers you were like against on the Astros stuff. So it will be interesting to kind of see how it plays out. I don't know. It will be interesting.
I can see some of your picks. Yeah.
So
I think Andrew Jones should be in.
Yeah, I know off air when we talked about this, and I know, frankly, the main guys who I think a lot of people are struggling with, frankly, David Wright, Felix Hernandez are probably the main two I've seen pop up in terms of like. I don't know about struggling, but like, I think it's where a lot of people are kind of having some trouble whether or not they deserve to be.
And you had spots for them.
Yeah.
You decided not anyway.
The Felix one is, I think, the more interesting case because of fellow people on this ballot in particular, being Mark Burley and Cole Hamels. All three of them have very similar numbers. I just couldn't do any of them because of that reason. It's, I guess, a similar. I'm going to put Francisco Rodriguez in this conversation too, in the side where I think peak-wise they all have a case. But the tough issue with that is, do you value those like 3 years more than the other 11 or something like that? And I'm not going to sit here and act as if you can't progress and regress, but, and it's not a knock on these guys in particular. I just have a problem with guys who, it's the Harold Baines conundrum, right? Like, cool, you had an historic, like, 2 or 3 years. But, like, if you're just league average beyond that, does that really make you a Hall of Famer? You know what I mean? Because, like, in that sense, were those 3 years just outlier years? Again, not a knock on these guys, but, like, they're very close to just being 500 pitchers. They kind of sit at a really weird mean in terms of career ERA. They sit at a weird spot, and you know this about me, and a lot of people do too. Like, I'm a person who does buy into some analytics. They sit at a spot where their WAR is good but not great. So it's tough, right? Because they fall into this category of like your Brett Saberhagens to go back a generation, where just very good. They were very good pitchers, but they probably aren't Hall of Famers. And I know, like I said, we were talking off air about that, and I know you were disagreeing a little bit, but I just, you either got to do one or you either got to do them all or none. And I think for me, I just have to fall on the none side, unfortunately. And that's the part that sucks. We talk about it on here, and again, I don't want to fully rehash it, but I wish the Baseball Hall of Fame was more like the Basketball Hall of Fame, where we probably have more people not deserving to be in there be in, but at least we're getting everybody in who deserves to be in.
I think the NFL is the worst one.
Oh, it's either football or baseball, right? Like, I take your pick.
They only take one quarterback each year.
It's even then they're like loose with it.
Yeah, I don't care for that at all.
Yeah,
I don't care for this either. But like I say every year about this, we talk about this.
It's so arbitrary at the end of the day.
Are they a Hall of Famer or not?
Yeah,
like it should be one attempt.
Yeah,
are they a Hall of Famer or not? Vote as many as you want in. They haven't played a game.
And that is the issue, too, with this, right, is the fact that, like, we have this drawn out, and it used to be 15 years, and now it's down to 10 that you can be on the ballot. And, like, I really don't disagree with that either, but my main issue is the fact that we allow interactions to cloud the judgment of people on this. Like, Dan Shaughnessy, for his ballot this year, only put Dustin Pedroia on.
He's a Red Sox guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where it's just like, what are we doing?
He gets a vote?
Yeah, like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? And I don't think Pedroia is a Hall of Famer. I think he's a Hall of Very Good. Like I said, this ballot to me this year is loaded with Hall of Very Good players. It's just one of those things where it's just like, you can't allow your interactions to cloud what should actually be in there. And that's what we've seen constantly in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Let's just let Ryan Braun get less than 5% and move on.
Is that really the one for you where you're just like completely like,
oh, the guy lied. If you remember the story, the guy lied. He was tested negative or something for steroids. He said he lied about it, and then he got caught again.
The FedEx driver though, Nick.
Yeah. Douchebag.
Yeah.
Done with him. I don't want to hear about him. I don't want to hear about him 5 years after he retired. He's done. Not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, a lot of it goes back to stuff we've talked about through the years where it's like, you mean to tell me that we've only had one unanimous Hall of Famer when it's painfully obvious that, like, you know.
Realistically, who you thinking? I'm thinking just Andrew Jones.
The way it's trending, it might be just Beltran.
Beltran?
Yeah. The way it's trending.
Torrey Hunter should be in.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing where I find a lot of the stuff incredibly fascinating with him and Bobby Abreu. Those two are the fascinating ones to me because you look at it and, like, some of their numbers put them in absolutely should be in Hall of Fame category and other numbers put them at probably not. like neither one of them probably have like the all-star stuff to carry them. But like, how much is all-star really worth at the end of the day? You know what I mean? When it's been throughout the history, right? Heavily fan vote. And you just have to be popular, and it's not a knock on either of them, right? But like Torrey Hunter played with Minnesota and Detroit for the most part, and the general baseball fan is shown to not vote for those markets all that often in the sense of popularity. And same with Bobby Abreu. Like, yeah, his best years were with, and in all honesty, for him, he played in only big markets essentially in baseball, right? Philly, New York, and Los Angeles. But during his time in Philly, for the most part, he was behind, funnily enough, two guys on the Hall of Fame ballot this year, in Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley, but also Ryan Howard. And when you're fourth fiddle on a team like that, you're going to get overlooked.
And those Phillies teams were loaded, man.
Yeah, and he also had, and especially him on the NL side during that time, he was behind Ken Griffey Jr. and Barry Bonds and Gary Sheffield and guys like that, where it was just stacked with guys. Whereas at least on the AL side, right, like Torrey Hunter was a top 5 outfielder year in, year out on the AL side.
Sheffield made the Hall of Fame, right?
No.
He never did.
No. A guy who should be in, by the way, 500
And he's
home
done,
runs.
right? He's off.
Yeah, he's on the
Veteran.
veteran stuff now. So
Also, wasn't this just Jeff Kent's first year off and he got on?
yeah, which is so stupid.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
1 year of the veterans and you're in?
Yeah.
It's like, why did you not get voted in before? And veterans is weird. It's like 15 people vote. That's it.
Yeah, it's a 16-person panel, and you have to have 75 of the percent there, like, too. But, like,
It seems easier
yeah, I don't know.
or harder. But
Again, though, like, that's where the Bonds thing is kind of funny to me because he fell 1 vote short of getting in through the veteran committee.
Really?
Now he has to wait until 2030, I think. So
you go up for it once.
yeah, it's cyclical, right? Because like the Veterans Committee does it in like cycles where it's just like it's like golden. They have it like called like golden age, and then like modern, and then like front off. It's so stupid. It's arbitrary. Again, it's all arbitrary, and I don't want to rehash most of this because we talk about
The
enough.
people who vote for the Hall of Fame are I don't care.
It's old white men. It's the epitome of old white men, right? Like just like get off my lawn, do it my way. And you don't do it their way, they get upset.
There's like, what, 200 of them or something? Something like that.
Yeah.
Pretty big committee.
Yeah, it's like 231 or something like that vote. So,
And this is their Christmas.
yeah,
This is
next Tuesday.
This is their biggest time of the year.
Yep.
Those
So,
guys.
a lot to look forward to with that. All right, Nick, we'll get to your shout-outs now,
Yeah, my annual triple shout out. Shout out.
which happened 2 weeks ago.
That's right. Shout out my Aunt Molly. 29th birthday on
29th
Saturday.
birthday, yeah.
Shout out Charlie Barbie.
29th
29th
birthday.
birthday on Sunday. And shout out my Aunt Nancy. 29th birthday on Monday.
Crazy.
Yeah, Aunt Molly and Nancy, both 29. Not twins, but, everyone's turning 29 this
I
weekend.
love that.
Yeah, shout out Aunt Nancy on Monday, Charlie on Sunday, and Aunt Molly on Saturday.
Love that. Happy birthday to them. So, we'll be back at it, though, again, next Wednesday at 2:30. I know,
Really?
crazy, Nick. I know, crazy. So, we'll be back at it then. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. We'll talk again next week.